While everyone is urged to stay home to protect their health, essential workers are allowed to carry out their normal duties. So what exactly is an essential worker?
There is no doubt these are essential workers.
They find out if they are essential or non-essential employees.
Essential.
You're sacrificing so much under dire circumstances to do your job, and you're doing it for not just yourself, for all of us. And you're essential to our society.
Sorry, let's start over. Hi, my name is Sierra Avila.
Hi, I'm Ashley.
My name is Natalia Rubio.
I go to El Paso Community College, and I am majoring in music education.
Currently enrolling in EPCC, majoring nursing. That's gonna be tough, but and I'm also working at a Supercenter Walmart.
I'm a junior at the University of Texas at El Paso. I am studying neuroscience with a concentration in biology, and I am a bookseller at our local bookstore.
My job was a lot more fun than it is now. I was able to talk to the kids one-on-one, and we were able to plan activities. Not only that, we had a lot more children in our facilities, and now children seem to have left.
Horrible. Just kidding, it's alright, but good money. Before, I used to work at a Dollar General, and honestly, to think about everything, like how much has changed, like the cleanliness, our responsibilities, like just as one person I would probably control the whole store, and now like they basically gave more jobs and like now everybody has one section that they need to do.
Something that's changed in my workplace, I feel like it's become a little bit more stressful. I feel like we're a little bit understaffed. So I feel like I've been constantly working more hours, and I feel like more responsibilities have been put on me.
Before the pandemic, the parents had a lot more trust in us. We were able to take the children out on field trips, and we were able to, do a lot of more crafts and a lot more activities with the kids. We were able to go outside, and they were able to play with each other all together, and we didn't have to worry about whether they were sick or not.
Before, the one thing I do think about a lot is how like we were so not so cautious with germs. Like we were like so close to one another. We were touching anything, and like back to touching our face. The customers were, I don't know, in a way I felt like free. Customers back then were more not as cautious compared to now.
It was actually really nice. I was in cafe actually. I used to be a cafe server, and I was, able to do drinks and stuff like that. But now I've been transitioned to the book floor, so it's been interesting. The customers before the pandemic, they were really nice actually. They were more understanding. I feel like everybody was more comfortable, and now since the pandemic, they've changed a lot.
Now we have to, take safety measures. We're cleaning after every single child. We're having them wash their hands constantly. When they come in, we have to take temperatures and have them sanitize their hands, and they need to be separated by dividers.
The cleanliness, now we are, after each customer, we have to clean their section, or we can literally get in trouble. I do feel like I prefer that though, because now that I think of it, like at any other job, they weren't up to date with like how clean it's supposed to be.
Essential workers, in my opinion, are people that they can't take a day off, or else our economy would basically crumble. They're the first responders. They're the people who are working at fast food restaurants, and also the people who are taking care of your children, such as teachers and other daycare, childcare workers.
I thought an essential worker would have been like the first responders, the people that we can't go without. Like if you get sick, like where else do you go to get fixed? But I guess like an essential worker is like any operation or service that's like supposed to give the basic needs to people. So I would say like groceries, like in the hospitals, like getting taken care of. Ever since the pandemic happened, I also feel like essential worker was like just to please the people who are forced to work.
In my opinion, I consider an essential worker like people who work at the supermarket, first responders, doctors, nurses, truck drivers.
Yes, I totally agree. I am an essential worker because without us, we wouldn't have firefighters out doing their jobs, and nurses and doctors and police officers and teachers. Because in my job for childcare, we basically take care of the children for those people.
Sadly, I guess yes, because Walmart is a place most people do go to like get their, again, basic needs, like their toilet paper, stuff for their house, groceries, the most important thing, alcohol. No, just kidding.
I essentially do not consider myself an essential worker. As much as I've been working during the pandemic, I feel like my job is not like that necessary for like the country to function.
The pandemic has definitely taken a huge toll on my school life. Because I am in music, I also have to listen to a lot of music, and I also have to play a bunch of music. And it's really hard to be able to play a song over, recordings or online on web chats, and be able to have the person on the other end listen to what I'm trying to be able to play for them. My schoolwork has definitely increased. I am doing a lot more paperwork and also a lot more, I have to watch a lot more videos, and I have to write a lot more music and be able to send it in by scanning or faxing them over to my teachers.
Honestly, mentally, it's kind of hard because like you would want home to just be a comfort place, and like having to put home and school together, like it stresses everybody out. Like it's not good, but I mean, hey, I'm here, got that done already, well, halfway there. And honestly, with the pandemic, like I'm teaching myself everything that I need to do to get done. Because at school, I'll be like, oh, they'll teach you, and then yeah, you just have to go home and do homework. But now it's like I'm fully the teacher and the student, so it's been hard. Okay, so I have a first set of notes, so I'm teaching myself, and then I have to make notes for that subject. So it's honestly, I feel like I've had to overdo it just so I can get by.
The pandemic has really affected my school life. I feel like I've had more assignments, more exams, and I've kind of lost interest in school. I realized that I really love just being in my school environment with my friends and, and just with my teachers, like face to face. My schoolwork has increased with the pandemic. Also the cost of going to university, I feel like it's gotten a little bit more expensive.
Since the pandemic started, I noticed my family a lot more, and I've been calling them every week, and I've just been wanting to be around them more often than I usually did before the pandemic started. Not only that, I also value work a lot more. I'm very thankful to have my job, especially during this rough time.
Well, honestly, I realized nothing is serious. Well, the pandemic, yes, it's hardcore, and like a lot went down, lots of death. But then I realized like school, work, nothing is serious, because like as long as I'm here, like everything's fine. School's always gonna be there. There's always gonna be work. Money comes and goes. So I do feel like I'm more calm with the path that I'm taking, because I know I'm gonna get there.
This pandemic has really shifted my values. I was really obsessed with like my career and like always just being like just school. But this pandemic has really shifted me to be, more adventurous, be more open, and do more like traveling, and focus a lot on my hobbies.
Something that I would have done better something that I would have changed is that I would have been more understanding towards the students who have turned in work late. I mean, we're going through a really rough time right now, and I understand that before the pandemic that if we turned in something late, they would be considered late. But right now, since everything is due online through the internet, and not all of us have, great internet connection, I would be more lenient to paperwork being turned in at a later time.
Honestly, I do feel like not all teachers, honestly it was rare when we would go face-to-face. Not face-to-face, but at least virtual. A lot of teachers were I do feel like they were kind of lazy, and they would just like give you the outline of what we needed to do, what needed to be turned in, and they would not help. So I felt like they were getting paid to really do nothing. So if I were like the dean, I think I would have made it a little bit more strict for them to at least like help teach us, or at least to be a professor, you know? Not to just do it for the money.
For this pandemic, they should have been more understanding with students financially and with schoolwork. I feel like they should have, made open notes exams instead of us using like lockdown browser. I feel like that was an invasion of privacy. And I also would have wished like professors, like they would have not done school, like group projects. It was really hard during a pandemic.
That the kids that I work with, they all came up, or they wrote their own song to sing while they're washing their hands, so that they know that they can wash their hands for 30 seconds straight. And that's one of my favorite things, and one of my favorite things until this day to listen to while they're in the restroom washing their hands and knowing that they're doing it for 30 seconds long.
My favorite memory at work, I think it was when I was finally able to come back after quarantine. It was really nice to go back with my coworkers, meet like the new people, and just really start learning new things at work. I feel like one of my worst memories at work was an incident that I had with the manager. I don't think she was having a good day, and I just ended up getting really emotional because she did raise her voice at me. And so that was like kind of one of my worst days because I really felt like I wasn't doing enough at work. So I feel like that was my worst memory.
From school, it ending. Just getting I guess like finally like accomplishing everything. It's really just like out of nowhere, like a random day, and you're like, oh shoot, like I finished, like on to the next, and see, hopefully it gets better. I mean, it is gonna get better. Work, honestly, meeting my coworkers, that's been a treat. Damn, I did that.